Wonder then if that was anything to do with the mill that used to be here. It was perhaps the owner's house where he lived. Hey up guys, didn't shoot a video yesterday, Saturday, because I was absolutely zonked from work. Well, not particularly zonked from work per se, but zonked from a week and longer of the warm weather. And then I was in yesterday morning, and yeah, all the warm weather had just accumulated with me. I was chatting to one of my viewers, and he was telling me about a business that was along this street. What we're going to do today is we're going to try and explore what remains of that business. Very, very little. And I'll just drop it down in the corner here of the video that he was viewing, where he made all these comments. It just comes back once again to when I say, please tell me things. I am really interested. Because of what this person told me, I now know a little bit more, and quite a heck of a little bit more, of what was on this street, the things I'd noticed, which I said to them, and that have now popped up with clarity as I walk past them on this street. Right then, without further ado, let's have a look at what we can see of what was a firm local to Sowerby Bridge that merged with a firm in the Midlands in the 1970s, but at the time it was local to Sowerby Bridge, and it was a place called J.W. Rushworth. And what they made there was sheet metal. Part of their sheet metal was used in the war to make the Anderson shelters. And what I noticed a couple of weeks ago, despite taking my dog along this road thousands of times, was this great big cast iron gate post here, and I thought to myself, well, what could that be? And that's just at the top of Oliver Close in Sowerby Bridge. So I think that this is where the factory J.W. Rushworth would have been. And I think that house there, or that complex of houses there, may have been like the boss's houses or the supervisor's houses. So let's have a little wander down this street. It's a little, as you can see, a cul-de-sac. I'm not sure what we will see, if we'll see any remnants of anything. It's probably all been covered over by these newer houses to the right here. Yeah, having a look, it doesn't look like there is much you can see. Now, what I do also think is that this wall here, that's all these bushes, I think that drops down onto Industrial Road. And I think that the factory would have come from somewhere up there on the main road, possibly to this wall, possibly down to Industrial Road. As I said, there isn't absolutely nothing that here that remains that says to me there was a factory here, apart from some old houses that may have been something to do with the people that worked there, all the way from the top to the bottom. And just as a little side note, I wonder if you can tell me what was here, what is now, well, what was Scott Bank and is now at Lime Tree Court. That was some other industrial complex up there, or maybe it was a great mansion. Please, whether the original commenter on this video that's opened my eyes or someone new, please do say anything you can say. I absolutely love it. And then one more thing that I have noticed is that somewhere on top of this wall, where all this more plant life has grown over it, there's usually at least one little steel strut stuck up that I imagine would have been part of a sign that would have said J.W. Rushworth Engineering, Sowerby Bridge, phone numbers and whatever other things. Right, so just one more thing. What we're going to do is we're going to say that we've come from on there. You can just about in the centre of the screen see a white sign. That's a Booze Buster or something. I'm not sure. Most people around here will still refer to it as Sid's. It's about halfway up Chule Lane. And as I was told, this is probably somewhere between here and Martin Heights on there is about where this factory was. So if we just have a wander on, and if the person who commented originally or anyone else is having a look and you can tell me where this factory was, because he seemed to think it were about where Martin Heights is now. I think it was about there where these newer houses are. Certainly wouldn't have been here. Again, these may have been something to do with people who worked or owned or something at the mill. And you've got another older house there. And if we just go on a little bit further to Martin Heights. Now, if we just get to this bit here, what was here? Was this again something to do with the factory? Again, it leads down to Industrial Road, which is where I think part of the factory may have spilled over, dropped over from the new houses just behind there. The factory went down onto Industrial Road. But this bit of waste ground here that we have now, oh, there used to be some trees there. Was that part of the factory, or was this part of something else? Right, we've got our mate on a lead, so we're going to head up here once this car's come by. So we're back here. We're going to get to where Martin Heights is now, which could also be where the factory is, or was, obviously, because it is now all housing. So we'll just have a little wander on here. Again, was this all something to do with this factory complex, or is it simply just a little snicket through, a little way through? And of course, I imagine it'd have looked a lot less, it'd have looked much nicer rather than this rough and tumble patch of land. Oh, hang on, just one random little thing. Let's get this, this here. This looks very familiar. This looks like the kind of thing I cut at work quite often. So again, was maybe there a sign here? Has that been cut there? May have been cut by an angle grinder. Certainly not being cut by a saw. Right. So yeah, again, just one more little truth nugget popping up as I'm doing this wee little journey with you. So we're just going to take a walk on here. Now, of course, it makes absolute sense that there could have been a factory here. Again, I'm filming into people's houses. You know, you can see these are all newer builds, so you can believe it. And as I say, with the road behind it being called Industrial Road, that also makes sense. Bit of a backwards walk there because, well, why not? Now, speaking of newer builds, when were these houses put up? So it looks about 40s or 50s to me. And are they ex-council houses? Or is it just because you tend not to get red brick around this part of Yorkshire. It tends to be more Yorkshire stone, unless it is council houses, as a rule of thumb. Now, would this factory have extended to about where that tree is, that white car is with its back to us, down here? Because that's quite some land, I'm sure you can see. I mean, there is just like single story blocks of flats, single length. They've obviously got a little bit of land behind them. I mean, how big was this firm if it did occupy this site or the other site or both sites? You know, if they lasted for almost 100 years in Sowerby Bridge, and engineering were always changing, machinery getting more complex and better at being able to do jobs. So it goes right down there somewhere, right down towards the edge of the canal. So we'll do just a little walk on here. They're the flats that we were just at a couple of moments ago. But if we can just take a second just to look, quite what an expansive land this is. Right there you can see that tree centre of screen, which is not so far off where that car was with his back end to us. Well, these houses are something to do with the factory. Very, very interesting stuff. Again, we come to this ramshackle little side pavement, side road. So this is pretty much the bottom of it. And this is where we were looking down a couple of seconds ago. From up there. Well, notice the girder to the right, just at the side of that big old house. And I mean, come on, if that factory went up there, is it feasible that it'd come down to this part as well? Because again, these are fairly new builds. Could have been quite an expensive place. Or maybe there were 2 or 3 factories along this street. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to film this little bit of ground here. I wondered if this was part of the factory or, excuse me, another factory. Again, that's where we were just a few moments ago. These houses, were these something to do with this factory? And then was there perhaps another one here? Was it all the same one up and round there? Was it another one that occupied a bit of land here? And then where this former coach place is, but it is now like a scrapyard garage thing. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. Now, I don't want to get too close to people's houses and be filming in, but if you remember a little while ago, I said that the houses at the back and there was a wall and it spilled down to Industrial Road. Well, this is Industrial Road and there are the houses there. And if I get this just right, just about there, just on the side of that house roof, the new house roof, you can see the old bushes that I saw. Whatever kind of bushes they are, I don't know. I'm sure someone will know. And then just look at that rhubarb there. Honestly, man, you get some right giant ones around here. Suppose that's what happens when they're left to grow. I don't know. Terrible stuff for me. It don't work for me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it's made sense. And as I say, this is the importance of you guys, you lot out there, commenting on my videos. As well as liking and sharing and subscribing. But commenting opens my little eyes and tells me so much more. So I can make a little video like I made today, or a slightly longer one, or whatever. You tell me, and I will try and build on the knowledge I have and try and incorporate it into better videos. Better videos for you, better videos for me. Right, and on that we're going to say thank you for watching, and we'll catch you at the seaside. Goodbye, friends. Oh yeah, speaking of factories on Industrial Road, these new houses on the right hand side, what factory used to be there? Please, if you know, do tell me. Alright, see you later.